Yes.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Girl Chat Sports with Mo and Mel. We are live. It's another Wednesday. We've got a great guest coming up.
It's not a
Thursday.
Wednesday.
See,
today is Thursday. Truthful Thursdays. Hot
Listen,
Thursdays,
it feels like a Wednesday,
Thursdays.
but it's not.
It is not Wednesday.
It's definitely not. It's Thursday. We got a special show for you because yesterday was the WNBA All-Star game here in Las Vegas. Mo and I got a chance to be there and be present. We'll definitely talk about that, as well as some hot topics that's happening currently in regards to WNBA and some Olympic news there. So we'll get to that. But we just want to shout out our sponsor, of course, House of Paws. House of Paws. I think Mo does it better. Make sure you check them out. 1750 North Buffalo Drive, Suite 103, Las Vegas, Nevada. Right off of Vegas and Buffalo here in Las Vegas. Help your dogs and cats with some of the greatest stuff out there. So make sure to check them out. Again, hot topics. There's so much going on, and we'll definitely get into that after our guest. But we're going to talk about Richard Sherman. We'll talk about the USA and the Team USA versus WNBA All-Star game, the hot news there, and as well as
we got to talk about Kickstand Connor too.
We're definitely talking about Kickstand Connor, as well as Jake Paul and his necklace, and the quarterback who got his tooth knocked out here in Las Vegas over the holiday weekend. So
that was awful. They're back together, by the way. So,
Of course they are. Of course they are. But anyways, let's just get in right into it. We want to welcome to the show. I'm sorry. The tooth thing gets me. Jordan Larson from the USA Women's Volleyball Team, Olympic team. She is literally, I'm sure, days or whatever away from charting off to Tokyo. So thank you so much for taking time out with us tonight to chat about it. But we're excited. We can't wait to hear about your story. But please let people know kind of about you, where you got your start. I know you're from a really small town in Nebraska, which is unheard of. And then to go from there to all this world traveling and competition. So I guess what got you into volleyball, or got you into sports?
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me. Just excited to be on with you guys. And I grew up in a really small town called Hooper, Nebraska. I think now it's population 870 or something. Very, very small. I grew up on a farm, and then I grew up in town as well because my parents were divorced from a young age. And I just fell in love with sports. Both my parents were pretty athletic, and so they kind of just threw me into a lot of different activities. I started out with soccer, and then I got into softball, and then I found my way into basketball and volleyball. My dad was a basketball coach, and basketball just was too much running for me. I was like, this is too much cardio. I need to stick to volleyball because I just really love the team aspect of it, and how you needed everybody to make a play. And that was probably my favorite part about it. And I just really fell in love and got on a travel team that was probably an hour commute for me. And then that's kind of where it all started, and just kind of kept going from there. So.
Wow. And so then you went to University of Nebraska. So you're a Cornhusker. And a 3-time all conference, I believe, or So
we were in the Big 12 at that point. Yeah.
Big 12. Yeah. Okay. That's, and I've read up on you. I didn't realize, I'm a Pacific Northwest girl. I went to University of Washington. So I didn't realize that, University of Nebraska is the all being volleyball school. They have been in your guys' conference championships or playoffs every year since starting, pretty much, which is phenomenal. So was that easy to make that choice to go to school, or were you looking at other places outside of your home state?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty easy decision for me. I think at that point I was one of the earliest commitments, just because it was so close. And I definitely was looking at UCLA only because I had met one of the assistant coaches at a high performance camp. And so I really connected with her and her story, and but ultimately I wanted my family to be able to come to a lot of the matches, and it just seemed obvious. And at the time when I committed, they were number one in the country. So it just was a good decision to go there.
Awesome. So this is like your third Olympics you're about to go into. So 2020, which is technically 21, of course. You were there in 2012 and in 2016, silver and bronze medals.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What are you anticipating now from a third trip back? I mean, we're going to talk about the differences now, of course, because of pandemic and the COVID. But what is it for you that's got you amped to get back there?
Yeah, I mean, I think with the pandemic and everything, I think everybody just has a new perspective, as well as myself. I think when you're playing professionally and you're in the grind, we're unlike a lot of sports in the United States as far as we play all year round. So like we're playing our pro season overseas and then we're coming back to the national team in the summers. And so we really don't have that much time off. I would say maybe a week between seasons kind of thing. And so when I had the time off, it was the most time I've had off in like 13 years. And so really like so much appreciation of just the sport and why we love to do it. We love being around our teammates and we love getting better every day. And so I think for me, just having the opportunity to be playing together is what I'm looking forward to. And then just, I mean, this Olympics is going to look so much different than years past as far as the protocols and everything that we have to undergo, which is kind of sad. I mean, and our family and friends don't get to come. I mean, there's just a lot of things that have been just tough. But ultimately, we're just really excited to have the opportunity to play and be able to say that we are an Olympian, right? Like that may not have been a possibility. So I think for some people that it's their first time, it's pretty cool.
And in your time with that too, can you just talk about like back up to how you got started into the Olympics, going through the Olympic trials and that whole process? What was that like for you? And to continue to still be competing, but what was it like for your initial time of starting in the Olympics? Because you got a record-breaking amount of kills. I think you're at 501 at this point. And so what got you started as far as competing in the Olympics?
So our sport is a little bit different in that we are basically constantly on a tryout basis, almost like you're asked to come out to the team, but you can get cut at any point. It's very, open-ended. So right out of college, I graduated in December, and then I went and played a short contract in Puerto Rico, and then I got asked to come out for the first summer. And basically, we have about between 4 and 5 tournaments per summer, and then every tournament there's a new roster. And so you're just hoping to make that 14-player roster, and that is basically the same cycle that happens up until the Olympic Games. And so we were lucky this quad that they named the Olympic team probably a month and a half out. I think my first time I found out we had like 3 weeks before we were about to leave. And so it's very like you don't know, like even if you are starting, you still don't know. And so I think that's kind of how my journey really got started, was just, all right, here's your shot. You better prove it and continue to prove it over time. So that's kind of how I've been in the position to do it.
Nice. And the nickname, the Governor, where does that stem from? Where are we coming up with that?
Yeah.
When I think of the Governor, I think of, Walking Dead with that season with the Governor. I've never heard of an athlete having the nickname the Governor. So I need to know, did that come during your high school years, college years, or in the professional arena with the Olympics? Yeah,
in the professional year. So Nebraska Volleyball is actually very well known within the state. They sell out crowds like up to 8,500 a match. And so it's very well known. Obviously, they've produced a lot of players at the pro level and Olympic level. And so it's actually kind of become well known across the world. And it was a joke with one of my teammates because we were in Thailand, of all places, and this guy was standing at the end line, and he was wearing a Husker shirt, and he happened to know my dad. And my friend was talking to her brother then, and she was like telling the story about how we're in Thailand and someone still knows Jordan. And so he's like, basically, she's like the Governor. And then my teammate is like one of those people that she just like, once she starts with a nickname, it just like doesn't stop until you start responding to it, and then everybody else starts talking about it. And so that's just really how it got going. And then I started responding to it, and then I changed my Instagram to that as a joke, and so now I can't change my Instagram back. So it's just become this whole thing. But it's part of my brand and identity now. So I gotta roll with it. So, but it's been fun, and now I answer to it.
Well, and that kind of leads to just within, I like to call it your seasonedness here in with the Olympics and with the volleyball team. What is it that you're kind of like helping the newer crew coming up in when it comes to being on the squad? I noticed there was some comments about you guys kind of taking like cultural diversity, kind of cultural classes on, some of these girls or ladies haven't traveled as much as you to know there are cultural differences in other countries in regards to how you conduct or talk or speak or bow or whatever. So what is it that you're offering these girls, through training and on your way to Tokyo on how to prepare a little bit outside of the volleyball?
Yeah, for sure. We put in a lot of time. I'm assuming a lot of people did over Zoom during our off break or our time and during COVID, and we just really try to focus on culturally amongst ourselves, but then kind of obviously this last year and a half, however long it's been, but just things that are going out, on outside of us, and how can we control our actions and then help those around us. And so I think we actually brought in a consultant. Her name is Sue Enquist. She's a well-known softball coach at UCLA. She's now retired. And she helped really facilitate those conversations amongst ourselves of really tough stuff, like, how we're going to manage each other, on the court and off the court, and, things that are happening outside. And so she really did a good job of facilitating that, excuse me. And then, I don't know, for me, I'm also a learner constantly. Like, I'm always trying to learn something new and not be stagnant. And so I think teaching that to the younger girls, hey, none of us have arrived yet. We're still on this pursuit of trying to find something, right? We've never won gold. Our program has never won. And so we're trying to do something we've never done before. So it may look and feel different but we don't know what it takes yet. So we might as well try all these things. So I think that's kind of what we tried to do.
And I'm guessing, I think for a lot of us that are watching the USA men's basketball, we're kind of seeing that, hey, these guys aren't invincible, that there's a great amount of talent outside of the United States that are playing for other countries now, which I'm assuming is similar to volleyball, because it seems like most of these players have been all international for so long that when it comes to the Olympics, the other countries are just as dominant as well. It's not like a USA dominates all sports type of thing. So what is it for you? Where do you guys think your biggest competition is outside of, in the Olympics, or has been?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. You're right. I think they have a much different system, in Europe, as far as they don't have a collegiate system where everybody goes through and then they go on to the national team. It's they start pro at 13 and then, they're at the age of 16 already starting on their national team, so they're very much from a younger age, much further along than we are. We tend to hit our prime a little bit later in life just because of the opportunities that we're given. And so I think countries that are going to be our biggest is China, for sure, is one of the tough ones, Serbia, Italy. And then, I would say those are probably the top four, but I mean, to be honest, all the teams are great and you can't really have an off night, but the one cool thing about the Olympics is we are one of the only sports that go the full duration. And we're on an every other day schedule, which is really nice. As an athlete, you feel like you can really go hard, and then you have a day to really recover, and then you can ramp back up again. And so it's just this really nice flow. So I'm really excited to go back into that schedule, but also to compete at a very high level with all these other teams.
Nice.
So you said full time. What's the usual time? Because I don't think I maybe know.
Yeah, you mean full time overseas?
No, you said the full your games, or you said full time, or you said, because you said something about full time.
We can go real hard. Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Some tournaments, World Championships for us is 15 matches in 19 days. So you're just you are playing a lot of matches in a row, and a lot of these same teams. So you are on game 3 of the third day in a row, you're cross-eyed, just hoping that you can get through the match, where this is you can really get after it.
That's
and then
tough.
really recover.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So
that is
how's the
tough.
coaching
Oh
been
my
since the
gosh.
past of what you've had? Because I know each year the coaching changes. Sometimes they keep the same coaches, sometimes they different coaches. As you're looking into this process now, how has the coaching strategy been compared to past matches that you've had in past competitions?
Yeah, we're lucky in that our coaching staff is really open to a lot of feedback. And so I think they have been really open to working with us. Like, hey, we see this, we need more of this. This is how we want to function. And we feel like we learn better in this situation. And so they've really been open to that. So I think through this quad, we've really grown. And I think for me, like my biggest lesson that my parents taught me is, like you said, we're going to all have different coaches. We may not always agree with what they're saying,
Right.
but take what they say, try it, apply it. And if it doesn't work, like it doesn't work. That ultimately it's on them, right? Like that's their choice and their decisions. All you can do is control your actions and how you respond. And so I think that's what we've tried to do. Even if we don't necessarily like the way our coaches are doing something, it's like, well, this is what we got to do. And if what they feel like is going to win us a gold medal, then hey, let's buckle up and do it. So.
Yeah, it's
so
interesting.
Leading up to Tokyo, what's going on as far as protocol for whether it be testing or as far as like what you can and cannot do before you actually get, I don't know if you guys are all bubbled up right now before you're leaving, or if that what it looks like.
Yeah, so we are kind of in a semi bubble. So we're actually able to stay at home, but like pretty much the only people that we're allowed to hang out with are people within the gym and with our people at home. And so it's really like kind of on your own to kind of take that responsibility and ownership, right? And our self accountability. And then also, like, as you know, I don't know if you guys know, but California has been pretty much open for like the last month. Well, we were in Italy for a month, and before we left, it was pretty much closed. We came back and it's pretty much open. Well, we're still, we're testing literally every day and PCR tests every day. And so we still have to mask everywhere. We're still social distancing. Like it's very different protocols. We just took our official test to get into Tokyo. So we had to take a 92-hour and a 72-hour test, I think.
Okay.
And then hopefully we get those negative results and get aboard the flight. So that's what we're looking at. And it sounds like customs when we get there is going to take anywhere between 4 and 6 hours. So we are, we're in it.
And then like, once you get there, I mean, like we talked about this on a previous show with our last guest, is that the Olympic Village is going to be completely different. Like there's no, so we got no fans, first of all, which I think you can talk about how that, I mean, have you played with no fans? I'm guessing this last year or so. Have you been playing without fans present? And how was that? And then can kind of think about how that's going to be an Olympic setting where you're used to seeing like, packed stands and arenas and stuff. I'm still blown away by it.
Weird. Even seeing now like a couple sporting events with fans in, and it's like, oh man, that would be so nice, watching the NBA finals. It's cool to see. And we have been playing without fans, so it's not a huge adjustment, but I've heard that maybe NBC is not going to pump in any outside noise, so that's going to be a little weird. I don't know if that's actually true, but I hope that there's going to be some music or some background. Otherwise, that's going to be really tough to adjust to. But like you said, the village is going to be very different. We've also heard that we typically go through a processing, which means we get all of our sponsored gear like Nike, Ralph Lauren. Normally we get fitted for opening and closing ceremony stuff. Obviously they can't come do that because they can't come close to us. So they're basically handing us our stuff and that's it. So it is sad. I was speaking with one of my teammates today, and we're lucky that we've gone to other Olympics and got to fully experience what it's like. And we just hope that the girls that are going their first time to get a go again to fully get an experience of what it's like, because I think this is going to be much different, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's already so the tone for the difference thing. That's
right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We might see people in the opening and closing ceremonies and probably wearing like maybe some baggy outfits or some too tight outfits, because at this point it's kind of like no one's fitting you, right? So you never know what they're going to look like.
And that could change. That is still very unknown. That is just what we had heard, but I don't know if that's if that I don't know. You never know. Sometimes until you get there, everything changes. So we're still unsure. But I have a hard time seeing it happen, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure like in previous Olympics, you were able to get out at all a little bit to kind of see the city or see some sights. And so I'm guessing at this point, like null and void for any of that. Like good luck seeing something when you pass in the bus, maybe.
Yep.
Or
yeah, we basically have access to the village, and then we like the USOPC has a training facility, and then like our competition facility, and that's really all we can do. And yeah, even within the village, it sounds like we're very much isolated and in our own little place. So yeah, it's again, it's sad. And then obviously our family's got to come, and then we also got to go see other sports too. You know, we had the opportunity to like get tickets to other sports, and we don't even get to do that. So yeah, it's much different. Sad.
That's tough, man. But I mean, it's the experience. It's being an Olympian. I mean, now you're a 3-time Olympian. Like that's something you can't trade in for anything. But yeah, I'm sure like I'm sure for you, especially, I mean, since if other girls haven't been yet, they'll probably just be like, oh yeah, this is cool, you know, and great. But then you've been, so you're going to be like, man, this could be like 10,000 people in here or something.
I know.
So have you prepared yourself mentally for any of that? Like, what are you expecting or anything?
Yeah, for sure. I think, I've tried to, I don't know, as an athlete, we talk about like, if you have a thought, like keep coming, you know, you acknowledge it, it's there, and, you know, you replace it with a positive, like you said, like being an Olympian, like that is something that like no one can ever take away from me and my teammates. And so I think just sitting in that space and operating from that and not dwelling on, you know, what it's going to be, but ultimately I think Japan is an amazing country and they are amazing people. And so I think that part of it is going to make up for, you know, maybe a different experience than what we're used to. So I'm really, really excited about that part of it, because I think like you said, having that perspective and keeping grounded is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So are you the tallest member on your team, being 6'2"? Are you the tallest out of your squad this season?
No, we have a girl that's 6'4" and 6'5", I think.
Wow.
Yeah. But I very much feel like, I don't know, it's nice when you're walking around with all tall girls, you know, like sometimes you're like, if all your friends are a little bit shorter and you're wanting to wear heels or something, like I could wear heels with all these girls. So it's fun.
Completely understand. I'm 5'10". I'm not that tall as you guys, but you definitely feel comfortable when you've got girls that are kind of at least within head range. Some of them, you know, when they start getting to those low 5s, you're like, man,
I know,
giant out here. But I wanted to talk with you a little bit about one of your endorsements and partnerships with Team VKTRY. And I put this up real quick because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like I saw it and I was looking into it, but I looked at the website, and so I need to get your like honest opinion on how, because these things sound amazing, these insoles, and I don't know, you know, how well it's been working for you. I don't know if it's especially, you know, now in the seasoned age into athletics, if it's helping a lot, but tell us about VKTRY and how it's really helping you with like training and performance.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it was like a year ago, like right before the pandemic hit, like I was dealing with plantar fasciitis. I don't know if you guys have ever had that.
Oh, yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is this burning sensation on the bottom of my foot? And they're like, oh, it's plantar. And I was like, cool. Like what do I got to do? You know, it's going to be like 2 or 3 weeks. And they're like, no, it could take up to a year. And I'm like, excuse me, I don't got a year, you know? And so I obviously have been working with them, and just like the cushioning, like for me, and then obviously just lateral support and things like that, like being an athlete, like you said, a seasoned athlete, it is very important to protect your feet and be able to have some comfort in that. So I've been really lucky to be able to work with VKTRY for so long, and obviously it's helped me with a lot of foot issues, and now also I'm now sponsored by Nike too, and I think also switching up the shoes helped that as well. So but they're great. Thanks for asking.
I'm gonna have to try them because I've had that plantar and it's not fun. And it was a cortisone shot cured for a temporary 6 months, I think they give you on it, and you pray that you just don't like the cortisone wears off and you don't have to face that again. And luckily I haven't, but sometimes I feel like I get a flare up because you're on your feet all the time. If you're on your feet all the time, they expect that to happen. And so the insole thing, I'm gonna have to check into it because
you really should, because there's like the little cushioning like kind of on the back part, so it really helps, like just a little extra padding, like especially I was jumping so much that I was just like crushing it, and I was hoping it would like break itself, sadly, but then they say it like the recovery is like I don't know.
And this insole goes in any shoe, like you can put it in any other type of style sneakers you want or anything like that. Wow. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're a little bit firmer on the bottom, so they do take a little bit to like get like worn in a little bit, but I think a good structure helps kind of keep that foot in place and helps all of the parts of your body, so it's good.
Well, yeah, because I think I know I've learned, I've had hip and knee, and it's like everything's connected to your feet. So when I get my like massages and the guy like, what's the issue? And I'm like, it's always dealing with some part of my feet that he's pushing, because he's like, well, that, and I'm like, man, it's getting the old stuff, first of all.
Yeah, it really does.
But if we can find something like these, that are helping your feet, like that's amazing. So hey, we're always down for something new, but that's amazing. So okay, off Olympics, kind of off a little bit. What is it that you want to do post professional volleyball?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Have you thought about that? I don't know how far. I don't know if you're going for the Tom Brady and the LeBron James years and going into sports. I mean, you could be. You going 24?
Yeah. I haven't thought about it. I mean, I have a little bit actually. I've been grateful for the pandemic for many reasons, but also just kind of a look into what retirement life is going to look like, and kind of what am I passionate about? What do I want to get into? And I'm lucky that my soon-to-be husband, he's a head coach for a men's volleyball program, and I don't know, I just respect him a lot, and I want to learn from him. Obviously, I think I would love to work with him, but to what capacity, I'm not sure. And I do think coaching is down the road at some point. But also I could see myself just sitting by the pool for a couple of years and just hanging out.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Man, I've been traveling so much, and it's so nice to be home and like not move. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not trying to put pressure on, and just kind of, I don't know, relax and enjoy.
It happen organically.
Yeah, exactly.
So socially, when you do go to beach cities or anything, are you into the competition of the beach volleyball type of circuit? Do you ever get challenged on that?
Yeah, I played a couple years in college. Actually, it was kind of when they were doing like test events to see if they wanted to make it like an NCAA sport, and I really had a good time. Actually, I played with Sarah Pavin, who is on the Canadian national team for beach now. And so it was fun. And now seeing her and going to the Olympics for her second time is really cool. And I do see a possibility of going into that. Now, I don't have any kids yet, so I would love to do something along those lines. So I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, and I'm sure something will come along.
And did you have any fellow Olympians in the past that you looked up to? Like Gabrielle Reese was a beast when she was a volleyball player and that kind of thing. Were there any ones that you kind of looked up to or inspired to, or try to, not necessarily emulate their moves, but kind of have their same mindset of games?
Yeah, for sure. There's a girl that was on our team named Logan Tom. I really looked up to her, and I actually had the opportunity to play with her in my first Olympics. So it was really cool to like see her like from afar, and then be able to play next to her and really just understand and kind of what it takes to be at that level that she was. And so she was one. And like you said, Gabrielle Reese, I didn't watch her so much. And then I think also like Missy May and Carrie Walsh, like watching them on the beach and just, the pursuit of like people don't realize how hard it is to stay at the top and to stay at the top consistently year after year. And they proved that they could do it, and it's really, really challenging. So, yeah, I was talking about
not to put anything.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Now, I was just thinking, not to put anything down like on golf, but this isn't like you're just swinging a club 24/7. Like you are actively pounding your body, whether it be indoor or beach volleyball. The ladies, any volleyball player, period. I tried volleyball once and was like, yeah, that's not happening. Like, I'll do basketball. I can hit a ball in the
volleyball circuit. It was tough for them.
No.
I mean, the wall squats, the conditioning, all of that. I mean,
yeah,
it's intensive. It's very intensive labor.
It is. Yeah. I was talking, one of my friends just came back. She just had a baby and she came back and she's now on the Olympic team. She made it all the way back and she just like, I was like, I forget how stressful this situation, like not anxiousness, but just like the thought process leading up to the Olympics and then going to the Olympics, it's just, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of things that you're dealing with and you can't sleep. You're trying to, there's just all these things that it just takes a toll. And, but it's a once in a lifetime kind of deal. So.
Well, and for her to be a mother too, on top of the training and getting there, like, women are wonderful. Women have power that it's just amazing.
It is
just to get to take her kid with her. I know there was a thing that they weren't having kids, but I think they now get. No, they don't, or they do.
She's not taking him. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think she probably would have, but it's still tough. Like is what makes the Olympics tougher too. Is sometimes when you do have family there, it is a distraction from what we're trying to do. So. It'll be interesting to see how we manage without family. So yeah, I think
because you also have constantly worry,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best.
You mentioned you're
amazing.
Thank you.
But you mentioned your engagement. You got engaged during the pandemic. So, like, as far as relationship go, I guess that means at the beginning of the pandemic was going well enough that, you guys got engaged. Or how did the rest of that go? I mean, getting into a new engagement and then the pandemic is happening. Like, you guys are, now together, stuck 24/7 quarantine. Has that been great for you guys? Have you learned more now than ever before?
Yeah,
I feel like that has to be the ultimate test of the relationship, and you guys stayed engaged and survived.
I know. Yeah. One of my friends actually texted me. She's like, "Congrats on your engagement. Most people want a divorce at this point." It was so funny. Yeah, it's honestly, it was the most time, sadly, that we've spent in one location since we've been dating. So because I've been traveling a lot, and so I think we just really got to share in the time together in one place. And like, hey, this is, if we were to get married, this is what it is going to feel like. And so I think for him, it made it more, like, even more real. Like, not that it wasn't, but it just was like, oh, okay, like this is what, she's not going to be gone all the time, and this is what I get to look forward to. So I think that it really helped us kind of gain that perspective.
Wow. And so before we let you go, because we've enjoyed it, we want to get you back to getting what you need to get done before the flight. 2 questions would be your favorite cheat meal or your favorite cheat food, as well as what's your pre-game music? Like, what are you listening to when, game's about to go down?
Yeah.
Or are you listening to music?
Yeah. My favorite cheat meal is probably anything like Mexican related. So a burrito, taco, something like that. And music, I think the older I've gotten, I don't listen to that much music, to be honest. Like, in the bus, I'll just kind of talk with my teammate, or I'll just kind of look outside, and then we'll have music going on in the locker room that I'll just listen to, whatever they choose to put on. But it's not something that has really, it's kind of gone out of my routine. I think before it was I need to listen to X, Y, and Z before I play. And I think it's really kind of gone out of that. I'm more in strategic mode. What's the team doing? How am I doing? What do we got to do? That's where my mind's at. So
you're listening to locked in music, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
In your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we wish you the ultimate success.
Yes,
we hope that USA brings home this gold for the first time in volleyball history. We wish you safe travels and get back safely and enjoy all the Mexican food you can when you get back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you guys.
Yes. And so your Instagram is at GOV1007. Is there a Twitter or anything else that you have?
Yeah, Jordan Larson 10 is my Twitter. And then I do have Facebook, but that's,
Yeah.
It's so 2000 now, you know?
It really is. It really is. Yeah, we're past that already.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Jordan, so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordan. Farewell,
Bye.
Governor.
All right.
I have to say Governor like that.
I love that.
Yeah, Governor. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
How cool. Yo,
Jordan Larson,
man.
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Jordan Larson, the beast. We didn't even discuss kind of like what she's like. She's like known for like killing it on the volleyball court. And
telling you, 501 kills, man.
Whew,
no one knows about that kill game. Shout out to my friends that
hitter.
played the volleyball thing. They played at Howard. One was playing for Berkeley. One was on the Nevada Junior Olympics team here. That volleyball is no joke. And they were all tall girls. So shout out to them.
Listen,
because that was
shout out to everybody that's it's huge. Like I couldn't do it. And then diving on a court, like there's one thing I didn't want to do in basketball was diving on a court. So then basketball is basically the same floor as the volleyball. I'm not diving for balls.
Yeah.
No.
Shout out to my nephews that played volleyball in high school. They chose one thing that they didn't, not basketball, based on the stereotype of their height. They chose volleyball and did that. So
yeah,
hey,
well, I can't jump either, so that X'd me out of volleyball being tall. But hey, what's up, Goose? Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. It was dope stuff. Yes. What's up, Bill? Hey, Nate, thanks for checking in. I know, Heather was in there too, so we appreciate everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, share the stream, follow us, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks again to
all that good
Jordan
stuff.
Larson. You know, I wanted to ask her about her name because she's at that age where you wonder, did she get named after anybody? Wait, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I know a few Jordans, but they weren't named after Michael Jordan. But
no,
she could have been. And she was an athlete, and she played basketball.
Well, that, and I'm thinking, but I'm thinking like I'm trying to think age-wise. He was probably like in college, or maybe just got into the NBA at that point, maybe when she was born. Yeah, I don't know.
Possibly.
Anyway, I forgot that. I forgot that.
She's fairly young.
Yeah. Young but old for like the or seasoned
arena.
for the athletes, for these, for these young girls. Especially when she mentioned those international players that they'd be going pro at like 13, 16, going to national teams like 16. Like that's
she's born.
I was just trying to drive a car when I was 16.
Right. She was born in 86, so that's about
okay. So she could have been that new hotness of Jordan that came out.
Yeah, could have.
Right about that.
Absolutely.
So we got some hot topics. We might as well start. So Mo and I went to the WNBA All-Star game, which was
we did.
A great game. And like we had talked about before in previous shows and with previous guests, it was a battle. Like it was a back and forth. It was tied. It was back and forth. It wasn't until like the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes that Team WNBA had taken that lead and kept on to it. But
and I'm feeling it didn't take away from the Olympic team whatsoever. You know what I mean? I feel like the USA team, they did their thing, but you got to understand they've got a journey ahead of them, and they've actually got some comps that they really have to do that they're working on. And what you don't want to do is play too intense where injuries could occur or any kind of instances that get you off the team. So big ups to them playing, a game. It was kind of like a good little scrimmage, good little exhibition, fun, Well,
and Diana wasn't playing because she had a hip injury, so she wanted to keep it well for the Olympics.
Absolutely.
There was someone on the WNBA team who also
and shout out to Allie Quigley for the 3-point shooting contest.
Oh yeah,
that and she's a 3-point. If you know Alexandra
third,
anyway,
it's her third one.
3-point. That's her thing. Yeah, she's a 3-point. She's 3-point lady.
I think she mentioned that was her last one, right? But
yeah, I think so. But you never know.
It's like why keep going up against her at this point? Because she's just going to take them all home.
But somebody's going to want to challenge her. She's got to at least have someone try and take her place. Like play till you can't, sis, if you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well. And Enrique with the MVP was it 26 points?
Yes.
It was her first All-Star game, and she comes home with the MVP. Like, how phenomenal is that?
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
Pretty
Don Goose, we didn't get to see you there, so I saw that you were there
with your girls.
I know Miss Ballandee was there too, so that's dope.
Yes, she had a great post too.
The house was packed. I mean, it was a busy. I mean, it was the most fans I'd seen at Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
So
this season so far, yeah, absolutely. So I for what it was and the conditions that it was, the circumstances that it was in, because it was still kind of a pandemic type of setup.
Sure.
Was not bad at all. because, we went the previous years before where it was kind of really in, we got to see a lot of action and it was good. But
The
for
whole
how they set
party
it
at
up, it
Mandalay
wasn't bad.
Bay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Shout out to all the
It definitely
Aces fans that
wasn't
came
like the
through,
old
'cause
one.
there was a lot of Aces fans in the building. So shout out to you guys
Indeed.
because that was amazing to hear that noise from our players that were featured in the games. So
yeah. It was great to see. And
yeah, it was.
It
was a great
Vanessa
experience.
Bryant was there with daughters
with the
in tow,
girls,
wearing the
with
Kobe
Capri
and Gigi's jerseys.
Yeah.
That was amazing. She's trying to keep Kobe's dream going because, had it been All-Star Weekend, Kobe would have been there.
Easily.
Would have,
no question.
Easily would have been there with them.
No question.
So,
Gigi in tow. Absolutely, they would have been
most
there.
Definitely.
No question.
We do have some breaking news for today, though, and that was our Las Vegas ace Liz Cambage. She was playing for the Australia team, who also didn't play in the All-Star game because of an injury during practice that we heard about. She was enjoying popcorn phenomenally. She was eating popcorn
popcorn. Yeah.
Listen, that was the best popcorn ever. I wish I could have had me a bag.
Like that was her last meal. Me talking to my mom about it last night. She was like, God, I kind of have a hankering for popcorn now. After you sent me that thing, it kind of makes me want some popcorn.
Listen, I love popcorn. I be getting down. So I understand that. Only if it's good stuff, I've had some bad popcorn too. But anyway, so Liz got into a little tuffle, apparently, or some altercation. We don't know if it's against a fellow Australian teammate or one of the Nigerian teammates, but they were playing in a closed practice today. News came out that something occurred, an altercation occurred within that closed practice, and that the Australia team, as well as the Olympics, were working out the details on if she would maintain her spot on the Australian women's basketball team. Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on, but apparently, and apparently there was some other news in regards to her missing curfews in Las Vegas, possibly not even during the Olympic time, but maybe during Aces time. So I'm not sure. There's no confirmation. We're just reporting some news that was broke and
WNBA.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, that's what everybody has her out to be. I just hope that there's, that we understand something and that someone gives an impartial view as to the story and not someone that's just a Liz Cambage hater or because there's a lot of those out there. A lot, unfortunately. But
yeah, but she brings it on herself. Lay low and don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to cause any more attention to yourself, especially if your mentals are not there. Like, why are you wanting to be the breaking news? Like, I wouldn't want to be. Like, it's gonna drive me crazy. What next? What can't do? So hopefully, as the stories unfold, we'll get a better understanding and some clarity as to what happened officially and what's going to happen further on. But yeah, just try to lay low, sis, if you can. That's kind of hard.
Please, just a little bit. But we, thoughts and prayers for her, and hopefully things go well for her, and that she, definitely. If she can stay on the team, she does, and does so well. And gets the best out of it.
I hope she can stay on the team. I hope she can. But they probably have a standard and a rule, and they have probably a code of conduct.
I think it also depends on what actually happened. So. We still don't know what happened on the team. We don't know what happened. I mean, maybe she pushed her teammate because they were bickering, or maybe she pushed somebody else in the opposing team. I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Bondi. I agree. I like her a lot too, but she has been doing a little way too much. I agree with that as well. And again, they said it was an altercation. What is your code of conduct? That all falls under code of conduct. What are you doing out there?
Define
your representation of Australia. Even if you're Team WNBA, you're still a representation of Australia. You're not.
Well, and we already know she has some up and downs with the Australians as well. I mean, she had the issues earlier.
I need you to get it together. Get it right and tight. Get it right and tight. Or take some PTO. Like I said.
Take some PTO, right. I'll take my annual leave, please. Let me get
I need to take some sabbatical for a while. I mean, if you got to pull a Osaka and do what you got to do, I'm not going to knock you for it. Sis, get whatever you need to do to get yourself checked out and get it right and tight for next time. Whatever it is.
For sure. For sure. But can we just add a little bit of fashion in here real quick since we're talking about our girls in WNBA?
Yeah, go for it. Isn't that great?
Yes. Could you not stand Amaya and Dearica? Look at these two. And Chelsea Gray.
So adorable. Oh my God. So cute.
It was so Liz was in head to toe Dolce. We've got Chelsea in her Dior. Oh, Prada. Sorry.
She's in Prada. I was about to say. Yeah, that's like Prada.
Yes.
And
Dearica,
shout out to Asia. She looked amazing. Yeah. That's the best I've seen her look, to be honest with you. That is the best I have seen her look in that fit right there. Yeah. She brought that pink. She looked really good.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I liked it.
I love Amaya. Amaya's just, they did. Amaya stole the show from everybody. Like, yeah,
she did.
There were people that were getting Amaya's autograph on their jerseys.
Of course, she was best in show.
You know,
she was best
that's who
in
it is.
show out of that record. She was a stunner for sure. She swept the category. How about that?
She was stunning on them. For sure.
Category.
Pose, yes. That was amazing. Other hot topics. Former Seahawk, former 49er Richard Sherman gets arrested in Seattle, out in the east side, over in Redmond. Apparently, he had so he got out today. He was released. He has four pending misdemeanors. The one felony for DV was dropped. It wasn't really like a physical DV. It was just basically him trying to get into the family's
that's more
home.
Like a domestic disturbance. And she's not an ex-wife. Yeah. She's currently his wife. So
she's still his wife.
Yeah, she's still his wife. It's not even an ex. Like they're not telling the story right. Like she's still married to this guy. They maybe they're separated, maybe not, but legally she's still married to this guy. Still his wife. And it seemed like it was just a big family situation that got really, really like out of control.
Publicized.
And the fact that he took to drinking, it heightened it even
more.
Or
was driving, had a hit and run to a construction site, like fled the scene, left his car abandoned, which was found close by.
You went to Stanford, brother. What's wrong with you? Like, you went to Stanford. I don't understand what's going on right now.
Sometimes
you're saying you have suicidal thoughts. You're doing that. What are you doing?
Wanted to hang yourself. Well, that's what she says. He says. So we don't know. You know, he said. She said. This is what she reports. The wife separation, whatever, has reported during the 911 calls that he's threatened to commit suicide. He wanted to hang himself. He had drank 2 bottles of liquor. But shout out to her daddy, because when Richard Sherman was trying to get down that door, he pepper sprayed him, had his gun in tow, was like, I'm protecting what's here in this house.
Yeah, I'm protecting my daughter and my family. Like, you are tripping right now. You need to go sleep it off, bruh.
And then when the police came, police came, told him they were going to arrest him, and he starts walking away.
Of course.
I'm sorry, you're too good to be arrested. Of course, yeah, sure. Well, here comes the police dog, and then he gets bit by the police dog.
Yeah,
got him.
Dog got him. It clipped him. You don't want to go into police custody anyway, being a black person.
The dog's the real QB, or the real CB.
Yeah, he got him. Henny and vodka, though, yikes, Goose says. I thought it was a Duce Goose, to be honest with you. I feel like that Duce will get you in trouble.
He got into it with the uncle. I don't know. I know it was the father-in-law that was there. I don't know if the whole family was at the house, but I know it was the father-in-law that pepper sprayed him. And that the father-in-law is the person that he's banned from having contact with.
Oh, he got into it with the uncle. Yeah. Hey, it's a family thing. You know, we don't know. We don't know what's going on with that.
Well, it's definitely going to make it harder for his free agency pickup. That's for sure. Because he is the free agent. I know he's out in Seattle too, because I know Seattle was thinking of even getting him back on the squad. So who knows? Hopefully he gets help. If he,
get help. Just get help.
Yeah.
Whatever it is can help. And don't put your business out there and why make a public spectacle of yourself? Because you was already talking crazy anyway in San Francisco. Like I said, you went to Stanford, brother. Like, conduct yourself a little bit better. I don't understand what's going on right now.
He only wants to use Stanford for things when he wants to, like.
But he was supposed to be a savant and his intellect, and he had this whole mind frame of things. And it's like now you're going on a spiral. Like, what is going on with you, sir? Get your life.
Yeah, it is super bad situation.
Yeah,
it is. It's a lot. It's a lot. I had posted earlier on our group page because, Bradley Beal, we had talked about this at the game yesterday. Bradley Beal was on safety protocol for COVID. Right. We didn't know as to if he actually tested positive or if he had contact. Right. But today they announced they were finding his replacement. I don't think a replacement had been announced yet.
No, they're trying to figure out who's going to be the replacement. That's the number one talk. Like, who should replace him?
Right.
Maybe
And then I
they
know
didn't just go
the
big.
other kid, Jeremy, was on the protocol too, safety protocol, but he could be still making the team and
Jeremy
still be able to
Grant?
make it
Yeah.
to Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Jeremy
kind of
Grant.
like, and this was my question, how is it that you're playing basketball every day physically next to these guys, sweating, rubbing, whatever, playing back and forth, and there's only one person that comes out having a maybe close contact or on safety protocol?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like when one goes down, the whole team, like look at the Yankees, 3 tests positive, the whole team is getting canceled from their game today was postponed. I guess it doesn't apply for the Olympics.
I'm thinking because it's
I'm not trying to
baseball
put it
and it's so
on the
close
team. I'm just
quarters,
saying
I
it's
guess.
just.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's because it's baseball and it's like close quarters in that clubhouse. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know why it's a different thing.
It just seems
I
odd,
just know,
but
just protect yourself because this pandemic is still not going away, you guys. This thing is still here. LA County just announced that they're rolling back with mask mandates in the LA County area, whether you've been vaxxed or not. Like this thing, Delta is in the building, you guys. Delta is still out. Delta is here.
Delta stand.
And I ain't talking about the airlines. I ain't talking about the sorority. Delta is here, okay? So where you going? Mask up. That's all I can tell you.
And wash your hands. Maybe he was the one person that wasn't washing his hands. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Trae Young, I know he wants to be the replacement. I would love him to be the replacement, but I know that
I would like to see Ice Trae too.
He posted Isaiah Thomas's interview from the MJ Last Dance documentary when he was like, I don't know what the requirements are, but and that was so
hey, he's ready. Put Ice Trae out there. Let him go.
He needs it. Let that man go, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
let him
man.
go. Let him go. Let him go in. Yeah.
I was down on that. So Las Vegas 4th of July weekend, Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, was here with his wife, who is the sister of the girl that I think plays for the Wings, the Gonzarek.
Is she for the Wings or the Fever?
Oh, maybe it's the Fever.
It's Fever.
She's a rookie this year.
She was a basketball player herself, and they were here to celebrate their nuptials. They had already gotten married back in March, so this was just kind of like a thing of them celebrating. They had gone to Tao to eat and all this fly stuff, and I guess there was miscommunication on the plan of attack, where the boys wanted to go to Dre's and the women wanted to go do something else, but she wanted to link up with him before they went to Dre's.
They went to they did the what's the guys dancing with Magic Mike. They were doing Magic Mike, and the guys were going to Dre's.
To Dre's, yeah.
And she got mad because
check in before his thing. And I
think
guess
he gonna do that to Dre's.
Well, I think it just turned into a thing, honey, where they were just like, this is
turned into a thing that she swung on him and broke out his tooth.
Yeah, she sure did.
Like that's not just a thing.
And she's
that's
wrong
like you
for that
someone
too, by the way. Let me just say she's wrong.
Completely.
You don't put your hands on anybody. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not putting my hands on anybody unless it's Warner, you put your hands on me first. And I think even then I'm going for something in the kitchen. So don't touch me at all. That's probably going to be your biggest mistake. But she should have never put her hands on him. And by the time hotel security came, they were like, he was like, get her out of here, get out of here. Of course, they're back together and on a plane the next day, and she's got court coming back. Coming in August or something like that. Oh, Tobias Harris is considered being a replacement too. That wouldn't be a bad one either. That wouldn't be bad either, is the Tobias Harris thing. But yeah, with that, that's a bad domestic situation. And Vegas brings it out of you. Too much liquor, you're out with your friends. You don't want to look like a sucker in front of your dude when he's telling you no. Your dude doesn't want to look like a sucker.
Yeah, but you don't sucker punch him either, too.
You don't either, but that escalates to that. And like I say to people, no one knows people's relationships. I found out some stuff about a couple that I had admired for years that are still together and do some crazy stuff within their relationship. Now, he is saying that she has never done this before and that this is something that's never happened. I don't know how true that is. I feel like it just got out in the open. I feel like she has accustomed to putting hands on him. I don't think that she has never not put hands on this guy. And it's wrong if she did that on a regular. This time it just got publicly noticed.
It's not okay.
It's so not okay. He's going to the hospital with a bit lip and a tooth missing and all this other stuff.
And can you imagine him at camp coming up? He's going to be the joke of the camp.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's more to this than just the I don't want to speculate on people's relationships.
I know.
But it don't seem
I'm
like
sure.
this is brand new. It don't sound like this is brand new.
Well,
I
it's
just feel
like most.
something
It's
that's
like
just kinda
most
got
cases like
situation.
this. Most cases like
Yeah.
this we hear. It's never the first time. It's just the first time they got heard of.
No.
That's
You
all.
said that, but I don't know.
Yeah, she's
I need people
definitely
to check in
slept
and
from
get
the
help.
floor. So,
Yeah, she
and
has.
thanks to
Absolutely.
Space Jam comes out tomorrow. Of course,
Yes.
this is the remake of the original Michael Jordan Space
1996.
Jam.
Yep. From 1996.
It definitely comes out tomorrow, and I'm excited. I'm down. I'm excited to watch it. I might not be.
I'm glad it's
as
streaming
thrilled.
on TV. I'm glad it's coming to the HBO.
That part.
I'm not trying to go to the theater for it. I got a good
Yes.
sound bar and surround. I can
Got
watch
the
it
good
at home.
TV at home.
I'm
It's gonna.
perfect.
I'll pop
Yeah,
my own popcorn at the house.
It's excellent. Popcorn and M&Ms for me. Like I'm all for it, you know. And speaking of Space Jams, you know, I sent you about Sotheby's for the auction tomorrow. Space Jam 11s, the 1996 edition, signed by Michael Jordan.
Yes,
those were the
11s.
ones that they've never been worn. They're the dead stock ones. They're the ones that they use as a like kind of an exhibit thing.
And they were made for his foot. They were made for his
foot, signed by him. Yeah. All of that. It is going on auction tomorrow, and I wonder what it's going to hit for. I can't wait to see what it hits for.
Ooh. And don't forget, you also got the Looney Tune Converse that come out tomorrow too.
Look at that Marvin and Martian on there, looking so space modulator.
I'm still going to try for those ones just because those are cute.
I need a team. Cute. I want to, but I need a team. I need a team to get all of these shoes for me. I just need a squad.
Hello.
People that aren't into sneakers, let me know. Hit me up in the DM. If you're not really into sneakers, like for real, I'll set up the profile for you.
Okay, so here's the deal. If you don't want these shoes on Saturday, please hit up me or Mo, because we both need like 10 people on board to get.
Oh, we're getting those now. Those are not going to go away. We're going to get those. We're getting those.
Okay, put it in the air. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it.
We're getting them. Okay. We're getting them. 7 a.m. I'm going to wake up. We're getting those.
Oh, 6:55 is the alarm.
They're dope.
That's the Air Jordan 1 high electric orange. For anybody out there,
I was like killing them with the shoulders.
Yeah,
he said, I see the shoulders out. I'm killing them with the shoulders. You know that song? What's Snoop song?
She's doing it.
Killing with the shoulders.
Throw them bows. Yeah. That's the elbow though.
That's the elbow. Kill them with the shoulders. With the shoulders.
Get it.
But yeah, I want those ones, Goose. So be on the lookout. Holler at your sister one time. I want those ones.
Everybody out there, just try and get it. Like we can get you back. Whoever gets them, we got you.
I want those too. Like too many people in my entourage circle here, my friend base want these sneakers. So I can't rely on them to get them for me. But I have to rely on people that don't care about them. So I'm gonna have to hit up some coworkers that really like. I'm not into sneakers like that, and put a team together.
I'm gonna hit up my brother because I tried for the golf shoes for him and I failed. So I'm gonna ask him to do it. So I'm gonna try and get a couple people because for just one person, me has not been working lately.
It has been hit or miss. It's a hit or miss, you know. But this one to me seems like it'll be an easy grab. I'm putting it out there. They're dope. But they're not dope enough where people are not really going for them. Like today.
But I will say the last couple orange ones have gone and gone. So
if you did the cracked orange with the black, the cracked orange black ones were a hot one because they have patent leather on them. But this one,
the all orange ones too.
Oh, those all orange.
It was the all orange and white.
Yeah. So if I don't get those, you guys have to look out for me for the lime green ambushes that are coming out later on in August. Those are the ones I forgot to take
the picture of that July 30th. Yes, those are hot.
I do want those. And the pink ambushes, I was going to go ahead and pull the trigger on, but I was like, no, these lime greens are everything because I have outfits planned for those. So if I don't get these, I mean, I could have outfits in mind for these too, of course, but if I don't get those, man.
I got a shirt out for them right now. Like I'm ready.
Exactly. I love the All-Star tee. They were selling those All-Star tees. They got dope All-Star tees at the games. I didn't even get my little regalia, but I think you can go on the WNBA website to get your t-shirts, regalia and that. Yes, Big 3 is back.
I will be there. Last Saturday. Yeah, last Saturday they had the initial week 1. It was all 6 games in one day, which was a little bit of time. Yeah. However, it'll be nice this weekend because they're splitting it up. So Saturday is going to have 3 games. Sunday's going to have 3 games. Make sure you go to orleansarena.com to look for tickets. Shout out to our girl Stephanie, who works for the Orleans, and we also see her there and a bunch of other folks. Yeah, go get tickets. So the games start on Saturday at 11 o'clock, and then they start on Sunday at noon. 3 games each, so it's maybe 2 to 3 hours tops.
That's what's up.
It's nice. It's nice for sure. Yeah. I think there's one more sneaker drop we didn't mention because we don't know when it's gonna drop.
Oh, the Travis Scott's.
Ooh, the Travis Scott fragment, Jordan 1 Retro Ohio
AJ ones.
Listen.
Yep. They said the 29th, but I don't know. We'll see.
Of what month? Look at you see this little Velcro. You see the little Velcro on the top, right?
Okay, so here's the thing about Travis Scott's. If you did not know about the Travis Scott sneakers, they have a secret compartment. Each edition shoe has a secret compartment in the shoe. You never know what the secret compartment is. Well, I don't know if that is. I don't know if that's just a feature or compartment, but each Travis Scott sneaker comes with its own little secret compartment. That is the little trickery that goes with it. Some people that own the shoes don't even know they have a secret compartment. Those getting into it don't there's a secret to those Travis. And so because he's partnered with Fragment on this, I feel like there's gonna be 2 secret compartments.
That's really so because does Fragment always have a secret compartment too?
Fragment is just one of those brands that just are kind of like really avant-garde and different. But I think the collab is really,
is the secret compartment just on one shoe or is it the same on both shoes?
I think it.
Oh, there goes Mo again. We got to get her phone fixed. So yeah. That's what it's all about. That's where I'm doing now. So those were secret drops. Man, the expansion draft is coming. Oh, here she is. She's back.
She wants to keep kicking me out. I don't know why it keeps. I mean, literally, I was sitting here talking and it just boots me out.
I'm like, hey,
because I think our hour is up or whatever. I don't know. It keeps booting me out. I don't know why.
I don't
know. But anyway,
that's weird.
It is.
Oh yeah, it is almost an hour. We'll keep it going real quick.
So it could be in the left shoe or the right shoe. It's one or the other, or it could be both. Who knows? I don't own a pair, so I don't know. But I just read up on them that they have secret compartments.
Got you. So one of the other hot topics we had too was in regards to Conor McGregor. What'd you call him?
Kickstand Conor.
Kickstand Conor.
They gave him that.
So of course, Conor lost Dustin Poirier. I have tongue twisters all day. But he lost in like a first round KO, broke or whatever, fractured his leg. But of course, today Conor comes out with that he's had multiple stress fractures, that he entered into 264, and that, go ask Dana White, go ask the doctors.
So why did you compete then, Conor? Why?
I mean, he got money out of it still. But
like, you can buy a team now with your money. You had money before then. You sold off a team to get you could buy another team. Like, dude, why compete then? You knew you had this going on. Why compete? Now you look like a sucker.
Full of excises.
Yeah, exactly.
All the way wrong. All the way wrong. All the way wrong. But what's hilarious is that good old Jake Paul gets a necklace made of Conor. Talk about with the quickness. Like, the fight was like a couple weeks, like less than 2 weeks ago. He gets this necklace made, which is blinged out.
This past weekend. Just this past weekend. He hit up Ben Baller.
Just this past weekend.
And
look, it got the whole chain made. And then Jake Paul sends it to Dustin and tells him, congratulations, you're really the one that deserve it. And so apparently Dustin put on his social media that he's going to be putting it up for auction for a great cause. But
that's
can you
good. But Jake Paul at the match, he had said in an interview that he was taunting Conor there. Conor had said something to him, and he had something that he was wearing that was of Conor McGregor's anyway. He already had like a little piece of Conor necklace that he was wearing, and he pointed to it like, I'm wearing you. So he said maybe that was the charm that got him to the bad luck. He said maybe I was bad luck wearing that. But I think the piece that he paid for on this one was only $100,000. He had reached out to somebody to get it, and
when you got money to burn, like, what can you do? What can he do? It's a lot.
For
it's
real,
too much.
You got more excuses than bookends. You know what I mean? Jesus.
Right. So the only thing to announce, so the NHL, there was some confusion I saw in different groups. The NHL expansion draft is on Wednesday, the 21st. It is for the Seattle Kraken because they are the new expansion team.
Oh,
so they get to pick one player from 30 teams except for Vegas Golden Knights because we are the newest team. We just got in here. They can't take from our team, but they just like we did back when we started in 2017, they get to take one player from every team. Except Vegas Golden Knights is off limits. So that's good for us. It'll be interesting to see kind of how they pick and what their misfit team may look like come the season.
So we have the MLB All-Star that AL won again for the 8th time in a row.
8th straight time.
Jesus. But a championship's coming out of the National League, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying who, because the Giants are number 1 right now, but my Dodgers are right under them, okay, for the whole league. So we'll see.
Vladimir Guerrero became the youngest. Oh, he became the youngest winner. So he surpassed Ken Griffey Jr. for the youngest to win the MVP award.
That's awesome. That is so dope.
Yeah.
And Ken Griffey was there to watch Ohtani, which he's a monster.
Yes, and he was taking pictures of him.
Yeah, taking pictures of him. Yeah, and Ken Griffey didn't even look like Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey looked like Puff Griffey. Like I didn't even recognize Ken Griffey. I was like, wow, look at retirement on Ken Griffey. We know he ain't hitting the gym as often as he used to.
Well, I think also because Ken Griffey's always had this like super young face that we just assumed he was always.
Yeah, now he looks older.
He looks older. He's got that old baseball dad body now.
Yeah, he does, and he had the gray on the temples and all that. And I heard that Stephen A. formally apologized about Ohtani. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Because you were forced to do that, but you spoke ill of the Nigerian team.
You slipped out your tongue how you really felt. Yeah.
Yeah. That, and then you talked mess about the Nigerian team, but you didn't apologize to the Nigerian team. You made them seem like they was suckers, like they was nothing because they beat the USA team, like they're not supposed to beat the USA team. Like the Nigerians don't have no. Like ESPN pushed you to apologize to Ohtani, but then you didn't say anything about the Nigerian team because you talked mess about them in that same show. Okay, we see how you playing, sir. That's crazy.
SAS.
But nevertheless, hey, we already knew what time it was. I already told you.
Yeah. But and what was sad for me is that Ohtani, he did get pushed out the first round because Juan Soto killed him. But here's the deal. I feel like this is why, after watching the home run derby, I know why Ohtani doesn't do batting practice, because he literally will just get up there to hit. There's no way he's hitting like 20, 30, 40 going like he went like 40 rounds the first round off. They went into a double. They went into the first tie, which they had to bat for like another minute. And then the second tie, which they had to hit the best out of 3 balls. Like he never had a break. I couldn't do it, but I know that's probably why he doesn't do batting practice. He gets winded or he can't function like that. He's not ready for home run derby, but boy can still blast home runs.
Oh man, listen, is he better than Babe Ruth? Colin Cowherd seems to think he is. Some people debate that, but this is a new phenomenon of something.
I think we're still early. We're still too early.
Hey, listen, I wouldn't disagree with what the guy said because we're in a later time of baseball and we're seeing something that we haven't seen in a very long time. So that may well in doubt be true. There may be some truth to it, looking at the record and the stats and everything. But recognize that this guy is who he is. He is a G in the baseball league, and he is actually good. He is on the level. Give that man his flowers. Ohtani is awesome. He's a hitter and he's a super pitcher. Like I would love to have him. And Trevor Bauer.
And honestly, if you
go ahead,
Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, no, I mean, since he's out again, more extensive time.
Yeah, you might as well go get Ohtani, man. Shoot. Mm-hmm. Trevor Bauer just needs that extension just needs to happen to like it just be gone. You're no longer playing with us. I mean, his extension now is until the 27th of July. So he's now been suspended or administrative leave for like 3 or 4 weeks now.
Right.
It's not going down. He's
not coming back. I just think it's over.
No, but one thing I want to mention about Ohtani is that when you're watching him, when they're interviewing him, he actually is listening and he's hearing. Like I do believe that he can understand some stuff, but I feel like for him to really translate that, to get his message back, that he uses the translator. I mean, I feel like the guys that they're learning English just hasn't,
doesn't negate the fact that he can't play and he understands what's going on. He understands the game.
And guess what? He's getting paid for baseball.
Absolutely. And you shouldn't even be SAS saying those comments about him being a trend. Like you're diminishing the whole thing of who we like, especially in a climate that we're in. Like, God, I don't even want to talk about this guy.
Yeah, done. Okay,
Done.
girl power. Hey,
Yay, girl. Power.
Listen,
Girl
Miss
power.
Candace
Parker on the cover of one of my favorite
on
games
your
to
game.
play. NBA2K
I might
2022.
have to get you this game for your birthday.
Oh, that would be nice. I would love that.
Just little Candace action on it.
Little Candace, because I only play WNBA on there. I don't even play.
Well, because it doesn't release until September 10th either.
Yeah, see, that's great. I play with the girls. So every time I play
she is the only woman to grace a cover of NBA2K. Only, of course, the WNBA player. She was on the cover of Slam just like a month ago too, with the new Sky uniform. She just had her 6th All-Star appearance. Like her 2020 to 21 is going great.
It really is. Shout out to her, and shout out to all the others that graced the cover. You know, the legends. But this one is more monumental because it's a woman. Hello. And the fact that this has been 3 years now since NBA2K has now implemented a WNBA portion of that game when it just used to be strictly NBA. I play with I'm telling you, I love playing WNBA on that game system. I love playing it on my Xbox. It is so much fun. The guys, I don't know why, but for some odd reason, I just can't gel with my players. And I watch my brother, I watch my friend play, and I just can't gel with the guys like I can with the women. Like the women, I understand them. Maybe because I'm a woman, I don't know, but I can control the movements and I can have good game series going with the women.
It's because you got that woman, that female energy. It's like your aura.
I guess, but I'm like playing with these girls and my joystick's going off and they shooting and doing the things that they do. And I'm just loving it. It's so much fun. Yeah.
It's all good.
Shout out to her. I can't wait to play the game.
Yeah. Also, on my to-do watch. So watching Space Jam as well as watching Maya Moore's 30 for 30, The Breakaway.
Oh, that is coming up. That's going to be really good.
It came out yesterday.
Oh, did it? Okay.
So definitely, if you're out there, make sure you go on ESPN app or the ESPN Plus or find it however you do. So that documentary covers her fight for social justice. And then, of course, her relationship that evolved with Jonathan Irons over the 13 years that she knew him. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Formed a bond and formed a relationship. Hey.
Most definitely. Yeah.
That was a legitimate way to marry someone that saved your life.
Legitimate. Like she knew him since she was like a freshman in college.
Right.
And then they kept in contact and she wanted to fight for his, anyway, we've exceeded our time exponentially, but we've had a great show.
For tuning in. Thank you, Jordan Larson.
Thank you to Jordan Larson. Amazing. Make sure you guys watch a women's volleyball and make sure you cheer on the USA women so that they can bring home that first gold in volleyball would be wonderful as well.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
We need that in 2022.
And shout out to our sponsor of House of Paws. We appreciate you. 1715 Buffalo Drive.
Yeah, Buffalo Drive.
House of Paws. LV.com. House of Paws. Check them out. Anyways, thank you. I know. Thanks for the special Thursday show. We, of course, will be back in action come Wednesday, and we will see y'all soon. So make sure to share, like, subscribe, all the Girl Chess Sports stuff, and we'll see y'all soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. House of